There we go. Y'all don't know me. God damn it. Now, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome. I'm probably loud as shit. Welcome to the den. Apologize for the slight tardiness, man. The fucking shit was acting crazy. I had to restart some shit and reboot some shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Fucking shit wasn't saving. Just a bunch of craziness was happening. But welcome to the den. I hope you all are doing well. I have good news for those of you who've been fucking with the den for quite some time. And we're going to talk about who killed chivalry. Well, is chivalry really dead? Why is it so? Why do people feel that way? We have plenty to discuss. We're going to discuss excuse me, we're going to discuss all of those good things. So like I say, so plenty to speak on. First and foremost, before we get into all that, see which friends in the den are joining us this evening. And I hope you're all doing well. What is this, Wednesday? Wonderful Wednesday. I hope everything's going the way that you wanted in life. I hope everything you've ever dreamed of is coming to fruition. That's going to be a 2/3 of a good song. It's terrible. So let's see who we have joining us. I'm catching up on some little last minute. I apologize. Promotion. Let's see what we got in the mix. Who's in the motherfucking mix? Beyond the funny nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? Just Sarah, always good to see you. Let's see, Heidi, what's the motherfucking deal? Dr. Rabbit, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Jarrett, what's the motherfucking deal? Cavity Creep, Marks Johnson, Mark, Rob Myers, Jarrett. I don't know if I said it once or twice or not, but what's the motherfucking deal? Make sure I ain't missing nobody. All right, so here's the deal. The good news for those of you who have been fucking with the den for quite some time, even the newcomers. So something happened that I did not expect to happen. Well, at least I didn't think it was going to happen so soon or with the den at all. And that is the den actually got monetized. You know, once you reach the 1,000 mark and all that other stuff. I just so happened to be, I was looking at some videos and things, and I was just trying to move to NBC. No, I wish. No, not really. And I was looking at some videos, and usually when they're monetized, it fucking has a little green stuff there. And the first thing I saw was a not monetized video, thanks to Ed Man's music last night. We ain't gonna talk about that, but I allowed it to play, so it's just on me. But yeah, so that's funny. Like I was expecting, because usually it takes a couple of weeks now since they start doing manual reviews. I swear to God, I was expecting they're gonna be like, "Fuck you and your channel partner, fuck you, no monetization for you." That's what I was expecting, but I was surprised that it got done as quickly as it did, and I'm surprised that I wasn't gonna have to appeal and do all that other stuff. I was expecting the channel just to end up disappearing. I just thought one day I was gonna log on and they were gonna be like, "Your channel has been deleted." But man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Chivalry. You know, we talked about, do men and women hate each other? We discussed that a little bit last night. And I don't think that it is, because here's the thing. We have to think about, because we're talking in generalities, because of course men and women don't hate each other. If that was the case, motherfuckers wouldn't be procreating, wouldn't be mamas and baby daddies and all this other stuff going on. Or maybe they only like each other for one thing and then, moving on. But let's talk about chivalry. Chivalry, is it dead? Who killed chivalry? Why is it the way that it is? Is it a problem that, the courtship? I remember back in the day, old folks, they used to call it courting. Yeah, when I was courting your grandma, what the fuck? I got a ticket, my nigga? What the fuck you mean you was courting my grandma? Like, what the fuck is going on? Vincent, what's the motherfucking deal? McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? And so, there used to be levels to this. It used to be you had to go through, I don't know, motherfuckers would, I guess, talk to parents and all that. Do people still do that? I don't fucking know. But, there used to be a level of interaction between men and women, even just being polite to random people. Well, it's mainly more men had to be polite. I think women just got to accept it, but now it's like a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different situation. And what I mean by that is nowadays, if you are polite to a woman, I'm not saying all of them, but you get called thirsty. You get called desperate for just showing manners. Like it could be just being polite. It's like I can have absolutely no interest in you whatsoever. Motherfuckers will start trying to. Oh, and I'm not gonna lie. I have ulterior motives. If I'm ever, I guess what you would call polite or chivalrous. If I'm opening the door for a lady, I'm trying to see what that ass look like. I'm just, I just want to see. I can't do nothing with it, hey, but I'm gonna look. Look, at least I'm honest with y'all, right? At least I'm honest with y'all. So ladies, if I ever open the door for you, well, now you know. But just because I'm opening the door for you, just so I want to see what that ass look like, don't mean I want to fuck. I just want to know. So, again, but now you get a lot of, you can't even get a thank you these days, motherfuckers just look at you like, you know what, bitch, I feel like snatching your ass back out this door and closing the fucking door in your face. Or sometimes you get you welcome, bitch, or I don't want to call all them bitches and they'll be talking about, they'll be calling laws on my bitch ass, like, you welcome, motherfuckers be sitting there looking stupid. Like, I don't understand it, man. Brosco, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Say women today don't deserve chivalry. A lot of them don't. And I'm going to talk about what happened. And the thing is, I feel bad for the good women who get caught up in a lot of bad women's BS, because there are good women out there. Let's just not be, foolish. There are good women out there, but I think that the problem with a lot of women, westernized women, is they listen to other women too much, and a lot of other women that they're listening to are unhappy or in a bad situation. Women in a relationship will listen to their single girlfriend for advice, who ain't never had a man for more than 3 days. It is what it is, so it is what it is. You say where? When I find the prime location, I listen. They're like Pokemon, you just got to be on alert when you see one. You got to be ready to catch them. But again, like I say, she tells you to go ahead, let the door slam in her face. Hey, she said go ahead, and I'm finna go ahead. But you used to be things like opening car doors, and what was that one thing, putting your jacket down. But that's the one I never understood. Like, so she can't walk around? Like, I got to get a perfectly good jacket fucked up, not only wet, but like heel or shoe marks all on it. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things that I just didn't quite comprehend. But it is what it is. And there's a double standard. But is there a level of chivalry towards men? What benefit does a man get out of being chivalrous? And should you be chivalrous? So I'm gonna learn how to speak this English. Suffering succotash. Should you be chivalrous to every woman, or should it only be chivalry towards a woman that you are involved with, that you are either dating or having relations with, and that's kind of what I wonder, because you got a lot of gentlemen who try to be nice to every woman. Again, you get a lot of disrespect. You get, some of them are polite, but again, like I say, it's a lot of different things, and I think that, and I try to look at things from every angle. And there's a lot of ladies. Again, you got to deal with interacting with some shitty dudes. We talked about dudes who just be grabbing on women. We talked about dudes who just be kind of overstepping the boundaries. Like there is a boundary. Shaolin, what's the motherfucking deal? That there's a boundary. There's a way that you're supposed to approach. And there's a lot of niggas that overstep the boundaries, habitual line steppers. But equality and feminism, I agree, and I'm going to get to that point too, because I think that there's a big, that was a big blow to chivalry. Once you want to start being treated equal, then what is the purpose of me? It's funny because you have a lot of those, the feminists who want the equality in every aspect, but still want the chivalry. And then, men ain't shit because they don't do this, and this anymore. But if we're equal, then why do I do these additional things if you want equality? Or you have women who will say that it's disrespectful to do things like that. I can do what I want to do, So or I can do it on myself, things like that. I don't need nobody to open the door. And so the thing is, you deal with so many various personalities. Sometimes you just like, fuck it. It gets to a point where you just like, fuck it. Like you try to be a gentleman in a sense. I'm not saying be a simp, but you want to be a gentleman in a sense. But sometimes when you've interacted with so many different views and personalities and perspectives, and then the overwhelming majority of them have been rude or off-putting or just, downright disrespectful sometimes, or, thinking that you are out to get something. And let's be honest, most dudes are. But there are times that you just try to be polite, So, again, it's craziness. But, it's the same ones who will call you thirsty for opening the door for them. The same ones out there fucking for Happy Meals and fucking 2 for $20s and shit. So, it is what it is. Oh, they let her try for the field goal kick? I didn't even see that one. I didn't even see that one. But again, like I say, it comes down to, as always, individual cases. And so, feminine friends, that's not. So your friends, males who are feminine, that's a whole different conversation. You might be out there hanging out with Kenneth. And so, and yes, shout out to Kenneth, because I deliberately ignored Kenneth. And I'm going to start doing that quite often just because it's fun. So my thing is, don't get it twisted, because I love the ladies. I'll tell you, I love ladies. I like hoes, but I can't stand bitches. And I think that the category is the bitches who are the ones that are fucking it up for ladies and hoes. Because hoes really don't be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Hoes really don't be tripping. Hoes, with ladies compared to hoes, chivalry, it still works. Okay. And I'm going to explain a couple of things. And this is what I say, there's ladies, there's hoes, there's bitches. The return on investment for chivalry, or just being polite, period, compared to a lady, compared to a hoe, you get a much greater return on investment with your chivalry with a hoe, because they're generally not used to nice things. They really used to niggas treating them crazy and dogging them out. So if you just half-ass polite, even no matter what bad intentions you may have, that shit goes a long way, maybe too long of a way, even without you intending to do so, even if it can have unintended benefits, So again, it is what it is. A lady, if you are chivalrous towards a lady, she's going to give you gratitude. Hey, thank you, or I appreciate it, or whatever it's going to be. You're not going to get to motherfucking sleep with a chick, just a lady, because you just did something semi-nice. A hoe, she gon' unless she like a real hoe and she want to get paid, fuck all that, fuck getting laid, trying to get paid. We're talking about a real prostitute in that sense. But a hoe, she going to be like, that nigga's so nice, I'm going to give him some ass. And then it be some shit like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is. Now, still, for the old folks, I still do. This is not women bashing. I don't bash women, Heidi. Okay, I do not. I've never bashed women. I bash bitches. It's a bitch bash. Bitch bashing is what I do. I love ladies. I'm never negative about the ladies. I like hoes. I highly favor hoes. Nothing wrong with hoes. I don't talk down. I don't negatively talk about promiscuous habits in women. I don't negatively talk about any behaviors except for when you're having a bunch of kids, a bunch of different relationships, and you're not being able to take care of it. You can take care of all your damn kids and you got that situation straight. It's none of my motherfucking business. Just furious streaming hatred, because I'm streaming my hatred. Yes, I'm so angry. Say the bitch that you almost hit at the place one time. You talking about the actual Like I was finna hit it, like finna smash it, bitch. I was actually finna hit with a fucking a fucking tiger uppercut. It might have been one or two of those. But you know, the thing about it is, pitch bash. I was taking a bath. But again, like I say, you know, my thing is, was it when we was at the we was having a little kickback with the water balloons? I think that's the one. That's the one because he kept trying to, you know, like I say, I understand the male female things. No, but there's a girl who is really out there fucking for Magnolia. Like you got to watch that episode. I want to say it was either a Maury episode or something, and it was your mom brought her daughter on there because she was super young, and she basically said she was fucking for a combo meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, like that's a real thing. So that's it. Like my thing with the comments, it was somebody who popped up in there yesterday. I don't know who it was. It was the first time. Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? It was somebody who popped in there yesterday, and I didn't care for that comment. I think Jay Dizzle timed him out or whatever before I got to mention it. But oh yeah, because I was going, not like, and she was cool. She was like my little partner, but it's only so much of me getting hit on I'm gonna take. You know what I'm saying? But now somebody came in yesterday with a comment talking about all women suck and all that, and you know that was quickly dismissed because I do not hate women. I love women. I honestly think that women have there's something special about them, but they don't realize it, and they downgrade themselves because of a lot of their behaviors and a lot of the shit that they do. I'm not saying pussy should ever be put on a pedestal, but women negate their true essence because they embrace a lot of these bull fucking behaviors. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my thing. But yeah, somebody came in talking about, oh, fuck all the women and all this, and just saying all this crazy shit. You know, they're all trash or whatever. I don't believe that in no way. Is there a problem in America with what a lot of women support, believe, and are kind of getting into the mind state? I say yes, but the fucking mosquito hawk is back. I'm gonna take his ass out tonight. But my thing is, I don't think that all women are trash. I don't think that, you know. But again, I can't compensate for the thoughts of other men. But there is a problem, and it's a growing problem that's happening in America. I get grabbed on 20 or 30 times per week at work and told to make sandwiches at least twice a week. I'm executive and sick of the bullshit. Well, you just got to start grabbing back, Heidi. I'm telling you. This is what you get, all right? This is what you get. This is what you got to do, all right? I'm telling you. Guy grabs you, grab him back, and say, oh. But you got to say it, oh, like in a kind of condescending, unimpressed kind of way. You do some shit like that, it's a ego abuser. So, you know, or you should bring sandwiches for all the ladies and not let them get any. That would be it. But I'm telling you, you got to learn how to, like, the thing is, you got to learn because men do things over aggressive. Even when men are having engagements with other men and they're talking shit and they are clowning, like, it's gonna be some knocking your ego. Motherfucker's gonna taste your ego. Oh, that even more. Well, you got to say tell him what's the shit they used to say? What's the fucking one they use for cowboys? All hat, no cattle, or some shit like that. What is the cowboy saying? I forgot what it is. It's like I guess kind of an insult. All hat, no cattle, or something like that. Well, you got to tell them. Yeah, but they'll try to can you for that. You gotta tell them something like, oh, all chips, no fish. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they say. I don't know what they say over there in the fucking. Oh, well then that's what you got to do. You got to snap. You got to hit them with the black lady snap. You got to start snapping on them. They won't know how to react. Then they're gonna get confused. And you just, by the time they're trying to figure it all out, you just strut off on them. But yes. But here's the deal. We ain't won a championship since the 90s. That's terrible. So again, though, my thing is, it's unfortunate. Do women have it bad? Yes, absolutely. But there are a lot of other women who do not make it any better for their female counterparts. You know, we talked about women's athletics and things like that. Oh my God, I saw a clip of I should have shared it. It was the worst fucking it was the worst thing I've ever seen. It looked like a fucking YMCA basketball game, and these were collegiate women basketball players. So we're gonna get into that. You know, then just be bad. Just be a bad woman. If you're gonna get abused either way, just be bad. You know, what you gotta do is you gotta convince them to Brett Favre you. And then you start leaking all their shit all over the office, and then bow, you ain't got no problems. You ain't got no problems after that. Oh man, speaking of nuns, did you hear about the priests have been abusing the nuns now? The Catholic priests have been abusing the nuns. The Pope came out and said it. Yeah, they were killed. They were it was awful. Like motherfucker laying up under the fucking backboard and shit, and then the motherfucker got a fast break and she just completely whiffed on the shit. But yeah, man. Well, it was Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Oh man, that's terrible. Well, I don't know, man. I'm sure nuns ain't out there. They probably not shaving, man. So I'm scared. I'd be questioning that. You know, they you know, it is what it is. You know, you got to go through the wolf patch. You know, I think there's going to be some action down there. That's going to be tough. But again, you know, and I will admit, women do have it tough. Women do have it very tough. But how do you change that? How does a woman change that? You're a smart lady. Are you a lady or are you a hoe? I guess you're in the lady category. I like you. Yeah, you're cool. So how do you handle that? I mean, what can be done? Is the Me Too movement the answer? I absolutely don't think so. Because I think the Me Too movement wants to catch a lot of people up and they don't care about the collateral damage. So I wonder about that. Yes, how do you change the attitudes of hateful men, if that's the way you want to put it? I think you just got to shoot your shot. I think some people just don't. I mean, here's the deal. I don't think motherfuckers would do it if it didn't work for them before. Eventually, or at some point in time, it had to be successful, so they continue those behaviors. So whose fault is that? You know? There's a girl named Track Bay on this. Yeah, there won't be a NFL, but I'm telling you, the lingerie league should be a respected league, and it's not. And I'm not just saying that because that shit is trash. This is motherfuckers. They're gonna be talking about, oh, she's a queen. This bitch look like a fucking. Anyway, I don't even know. That looks like it's something else. But the thing is, like I say, you know, it's unfortunate, and I do recognize this. I do recognize that women do have a tough time, but I don't think it's bad everywhere. I think in those areas where, you know, it's primarily a boys' club, then you have an issue. But yeah, lingerie league is legit. Yes. They play hard. I watch hard, so it works out for everybody, right? I didn't say that. But nah, lingerie league is legit, man. Because they really be out there playing. They really be out there talking shit. Like, you see that passion in other women, but it's just something different about it. Because like I said, they really be popping off. And so I think that it should get a lot more respect. I think it should get a lot more respect than it does. But getting back to the situation, let's figure this out. Okay. We're talking about chivalry. We're talking about the men in Heidi's at work. They lack chivalry. Bunch of old, wrinkly British guys who eat fish and chips, tea and crumpets, and they listen to 21 Savage. So how do we resolve that problem? How does that? I mean, I'm sure that's, again, like I say, it's those areas where It's those areas where it's mainly men. So I think you have a couple of solutions, and none of these solutions are very easy. Okay. You have what you have now with the Me Too movement going on. You have a situation where women start creating, maybe something that caters more to them in that same situation. But there's certain business that's just hard to get in. So, we're gonna acknowledge that. But maybe you create more all female companies. You have, again, it's a change of profession. Well, what if you go to medical school and you get harassed by a lesbian? Because I want to be honest about something. There's a conversation I want to have, and I've been saying I've been skeptical of having it on the den because but we're going to talk about it briefly, okay? And I'm not going to get in so far in depth into the conversation as I would like to, but I want to say something. We talked about statistics here a while back, and the statistics were that, we were talking about domestic abuse, I believe, and it was heterosexual relationships had the lowest rate. Then it was, people who identified as homosexual had, they were higher. Well, it was a nice little difference in it. But the people who had the highest were the people who identified as bisexual, and they had the highest abuse rate, as far as being abused. But the highest of all those numbers, and this is why I say, they try to push this image that men are inherently bad. That's why I can't stand the Gillette commercial and all this other stuff. The most domestic abuse happens in lesbian relationships. This is a fact. This is statistically a fact. I mean, percentage-wise, and of course, sheer numbers, no. But percentage-wise, and then you got to think about the ones who aren't going to talk about it, but percentage-wise, woman-on-woman domestic violence happens way more than anybody. Shit, the fucking Philadelphia fan that just was in the fucking when Philly lost or whatever, fucking took her girlfriend's dog, put it in the fucking microwave, and they may try to make it seem like it was a man at first, Philadelphia fan, the way they worded it. Then you read it, it's a woman. Took her girlfriend's dog, put it in the microwave, beat her woman up, and they had a fight and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a very you and your Pepto-Bismol situations as of late, Dr. Rabbit. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. But so they have the highest rates, and so now also I want to talk about sexual aggression, because we're talking about men, saying this and saying that, and you're talking about how men, they grab on you and they do all that. I know some, and I've talked to people about some, and the general consensus has been studs. They're overly aggressive. They do the same thing that men do. I will love a women. They do the same thing that men do, but they don't get looked at like that. Why is that? Why don't they get considered the same way? Because they're just as bad. They're just as aggressive, if not more aggressive. But because they're women, no one says anything. Why is that? I don't know. I'm not punching anybody. I'm not touching anybody. Well, I do be touching the lady Honcho. She be getting mad at me. I can't help it. Hands to the butt cheeks. It happens. But she's my property. I do what I goddamn want. But honestly though, man, you just still be able to take testosterone. But I'm telling you, they're more aggressive. They do all that same shit. D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal? And shout out to Wild. I don't know if I did I catch you earlier, Wives. I don't know if I did or didn't. And anybody I may have missed, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, nobody wants to talk about that. Man, Broderick, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, stud, man, look, let me tell you, like, you here's the hoest of hoe ass shit, okay? If you ever got to compete with a stud for a chick, studs are worse than hoe ass niggas. You know them niggas we talk about, the niggas who will try to run behind you, but oh, you let such and such fuck, you know, or they'll try to talk down or hate on it. Studs are worse than any of those kind of hoe ass niggas. Rising Zaxby's, Black Persuasion. I see you. So my thing is, yeah, the stud, they will definitely hate on you. You still can't do that. Still try to talk about, well, I got this foot long. Yeah, but you got a bunch of plastic in your pants. Get off the boo boo boo. You know, but the thing about it is that studs are more aggressive than men, but nobody talks about that. You know, we talk about this thing that I find odd, the phrase protected classes. And that's kind of something I just recently discovered. I didn't know that was a thing. And, you know, lesbians are, I guess, in that protected class, but they're just aggressive. They're just as bad. And I've known them. I've known some. And, see, so I'm like, women have no problem with other women grabbing on them. It's not a thing. Like, you see that there's a double standard of it. You see it all the time. Have you ever been at a party with a bunch of chicks? It could be some chicks that don't even know each other. Bitch will randomly go up and grab another bitch chest or ass or woman, we'll say women. We'll go up and grab another woman, don't even know her. Oh my God, your titties are so big, I just want to touch them. And it's not a thing. They'll grab her ass. Oh, I couldn't help myself. It's not a thing. And women are okay with that. But it's a double standard when men do it. And I'm not telling anybody to go up and just grab on anybody, but why is it okay? You know, you shouldn't be touching them, but it's okay when women do it to each other. I don't understand. And I don't know, Heidi. Like I say, unbeaten must be sales to put a strap on fire. Wow. That's the crazy shit. Crazy. 335 was the motherfucking deal. Let's see. Oh, man. Man, that's what I'm saying. I heard that I saw on the TMZ thing that the cops want to talk to Jesse again. Now that he's back in town filming, what's the show called? Empire. She good. Better be asleep, goddamn. No, but Jesse, he's doing that. You know, I come from the school of Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew used to say, take the pussy. Nah, I'm just joking. Don't do that. That was rape culture. Fucking Pepe Le Pew. Oh my God. There's some niggas who subscribe to the Pepe Le Pew though, man. There's some real Pepe Le Pews out there, dog. And they really on some other shit. But no, but they said that they probably gonna subpoena the phone from what I'm hearing. And that, you know, they were supposed to be trying to talk to him again now that he got the at the whatchamacallit. So that's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Because like I say, they said they found some new footage, but they haven't released this footage. I've heard that those two guys that were out there could possibly have been homeless. You know, so it's a whole lot of interesting things that's going on with the Jesse situation. And I'm looking forward to see what happens ultimately in that situation. Pepper literally translates to "he really stinks." Word. VC, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you. Yeah, and that's what I say. Just the way they were handling that case, I think what they wanted to do is just like make sure they could rule out anything else strange happening, and then, you know, make sure everything calms so you don't see how he handles himself, see how he operates. Because the thing is, he's an actor, man. And, you know, 45 minutes, maybe that's how long it took him to get in the character or whatever. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's what I'm curious. What they said they're doing now is they're trying to they're trying to trace the origin of the rope. And so I guess they're checking, to see if anything's been bought recently. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happened with that. I don't think any of that happened. I'm wondering if they took the clothes, because if he got bleached up, right? Bleach is going to fuck your clothes up. You know what I mean? Bleach is going to fuck your clothes up. So where are the bleached clothes? He didn't go to the hospital. They made it seem like a big old deal talking about, interesting. I'm starting thinking about something. I got the celebrity freeze. I froze up like them celebrities on that video. They got me. No. Oh, terrible. Terrible. That was a very valid thing, but it's terrible. I think that's what happened, man. I think he was out there doing some crazy shit, and he used that to justify his whole situation. But, and now he's just selling. He's embracing all the fucking glory and all the attention. Bleached the clothes right now. He embracing all that glory and all that attention, and so now he's using it and taking it and running with it. We'll find out, man. Man, we're gonna find out. Hey, shit, he can, jail might be a place he maybe enjoy. He might like it. They say he's found a subway wrapping paper that was dedicated bleach. That's what I'm saying. So you gotta be, you a hell of a motherfucker. Look, because he said I fought the fuck back, right? And I might need to update. Like I said, I was trying to avoid doing any more videos on it, but the more I think about it, it is what it is. But he said I fought the fuck back, right? Rumor has it that, okay, and if he has the sandwich papers or whatever. So you fought the fuck back while you were on the phone with a sandwich. What do you have, a sandwich in your pocket? You know what I mean? Because if we're talking about a foot-long sandwich, even if it's a fucking 6-inch sandwich, you're going to hold a fucking sandwich. They give it to you in the little fucking Subway bags. You could, but let's, come on. What the fuck? Who wants fucking Subway when it's fucking freezing cold? I need some goddamn coffee or something. But anyway, they said that they have some 24-hour Subways over there in Chicago. I don't know. I've heard different variations of the story. Pardon me. I've heard different variations of the story. Like I said, I'm just kind of waiting to what I've seen and what details. That it's a specific type of people are taking it and running with it. The Hollywood, the big media types, because it sounds good. See, we're telling you it's happening all the time. I'm telling you it's always happening. Man, I don't. Maybe it is, but the cases that I hear, usually there are some things behind it. I don't always say that. I don't think people are out there gay bashing like they used to. I used to talk to old school motherfuckers. They used to go gay bashing. They'd walk down the street, see a gay motherfucker, and they would knock them out. Just fighting them motherfuckers. I don't think that's happening nowadays. I think nowadays most you can say, this old gay motherfucker. Or some saying like that. I don't think nobody's really out there. I'm sure there's probably a lot of online shit, but it's online. It is what it is. Yeah, it comes up to gay Tupac, man. Oh man, but like I said, I'm questioning because everything that he's saying, it's there. Yeah, it's already there. What I'm telling you, it's there. It's already at the extremist point. Nobody's believing it. I think you just got a lot going on with that whole situation. But as we speak, somebody said he just lied to push Kamala Harris's lynching. Because yeah, he's a buddy with Kamala Harris, and man, fuck that bitch. The more I've actually been the more I've been looking into her whole situation, she's the worst, dog. Is she even black? Come on, let's be for real. I don't even think she's really a black person, but they using that in that fucking bullshit ass Cardi B clip. They that shit is trash. You know what I'm saying? That shit is trash. She's terrible, dog. She's awful. And she's married to a Jewish dude or something like that. So trust me, she ain't got niggas' best interest at heart. She ain't worried about nobody black. They just using that because it's convenient now. But we'll get to that. Kamala, that's another conversation. Booker, we ain't even gonna get on the Booker kid, the kid dude, whatever his name is. Terrible shit. But again, Sean King ain't no nigga. Sean King wish he was a nigga. That dude's such a fraud, dog. I can't stand Sean King, man. I don't even want to get into that dude because he took all that money. Then because they weren't white, he didn't want to pay out the money, you know. And that's what kills me. Like, it's about helping this family out, regardless of who. But now you want to keep the money and probably gonna try to use it on some other crime. You still pushing your agenda, but you just ignoring, you know, basically ignoring what the fuck happened, you know. And to me, that's disrespectful. That means you don't care about what really happened to that little girl. You just hoped it was some old racial shit, and so you could capitalize and build your brand off of it. And that's what kills me, man. And so, who Abrams? I don't even know what they. I mean, I know she's the one from Georgia, right? You know what I mean? And so I don't even know what's up with her. But my thing is just, man, it's a whole lot of shenanigans. Like I say, you know, I sit here and I tell you, I don't care about politicians, because I hate them all. You know, I'm not a fucking Trump supporter. I'm not a Obama guy. I'm not a nobody. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. I think all politicians have scandal in them. Those poverty pimps, scandals. You know, yeah, because Sharpton, he was the one trying to make the money off of the who was the little black girl they lied about getting raped. Because I know a lot of people compared this to compared it to the chick in New York a while back. She had said like a bunch of cops or something had raped her. But it is what it is. I can't think of it. Was a bunch of people commented her name on the this fucking mosquito hawk is killing me. And so they compared this. That's the one. And that's so again, like I say, I look at all politicians the same. So like I say, I have no dog in the fight. But you know, president gives a State of the Union address. They know people are going to be paying attention, so they know that one particular side is going to be mad about anything he says, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's Warner Broadley. That's right. And you know, they're so upset that he has a chance to speak. Who does a pre-State of the Union? That's what she does, a pre-State of the Union, and then Abrams did a post-State of the Union, and then the other one, I think Bernie did one. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a whole, like, who does this shit? Like, I can understand a rebuttal, but a pre-buttal before you even know what the fuck you're gonna say, and then you talking about, you know, the post shit. Like, it was just crazy. And then it was super funny. All the women dressed in white, missing their high five. They were out there looking like Tom Brady. What Alexandra Cortez or whatever though? She fucking trying to high five motherfuckers. They ain't even high five. They can't even get the high fives coordinated. I mean, come on. They definitely in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted a reason. Yeah, he was over there. He was over there rapping and shit. Trump out there dropping verses. He was out there spitting bars and shit. You know what I'm saying? I heard that shit. You know, but yeah, man, I do feel like the left has gone nuts. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Especially what they're doing with the late term abortion thing, man. It's wild. Like, it's super wild. Like, again, a lot of times it's none of my business. Whether you're for or against abortion, that's your own thing. But there should be nobody should be trying to validate abortions in the third fucking trimester, like fucking justifying, like they're basically, I mean, you know, again, that's baby killing. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking baby killing. When you're talking about basically up to the motherfucker, like up until the point where the kid is born, that's what they're trying to do. That's the fucking bills they're trying to get passed. Like, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand people in certain circumstances, situations at a certain point, but there is a cutoff time, and I'm not really just, again, who am I to judge? You got to deal with your own demons. You got to, you know, pay for your own dues, but there's no valid reasoning for fucking third trimester late term abortions. That shit is crazy. Balin, all right. Yeah, he fucking. But shit. My thing is, again, like I said, I don't really give a fuck about none of them. But why do we, mainly we as in black people, give Barack all these props, all these credits? Like I say, I appreciate Barack in the sense of being a figurehead. Yeah, basically post birth, and that's the crazy shit, and that's murder. I mean, that's it. That is fucking murder. Like, because that's what the chick was like. Well, up until the point where, yeah, you know, basically it born. But it's born. But the fucking thing, Kobe, that's that. Y'all ever seen that meme with the little chick and she fucking throwing the baby and shit, shooting the baby like a jump shot? I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny because motherfuckers gonna be embracing this shit. And this is what, and again, but like I say, the only thing that's happening is the Democrats are continuing, the left is continuing to basically dig itself in a hole. Because what they're doing, they're listening to these cuckoos on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They're listening to these fucking crazies on the internet and thinking that's what people want. There's a lot of people that are not on the internet. There are a lot of people who are out there really living a real life. And there's a lot of people on the internet who don't have those, but they're looking for one side. And they're thinking that, you know, they're thinking that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep the child until the mother. Man, at that point, you adopt them. But give the baby up for adoption. Go take the baby to the fucking fire station and leave it. Go do something. Like, you've had the fucking kid, you know, and now health justifies as mental health. Postpartum depression, that's mental health. So if she's depressed now that she has to deal with the baby, so now she, you know, so what happens if you get rid of the baby? Does postpartum depression go away? You know, like, and I would like an answer to that. Is that, you know, I mean, Heidi, you're a psychologicalizer. You know, does postpartum depression go away if you get rid of the baby? You know, if that's the case, then Casey Anthony's all right, I guess. Then, you know, it's crazy stuff. No, D-Love. It's one who's saying that basically after birth, you know, within that relative time frame, right there, immediately after birth, that should still count as an abortion. Like, that's the laws that they're trying to push now. That's what they're trying to push out now. Like, that's the crazy stuff. That's what's ridiculous, and people are validating this and then thinking this is okay. Like, damn, bootleg abortion. What the hell is that? God damn. I don't even want to know. Like, you know, I used to bootleg DVDs and shit. Bootleg abortions. Whoo. Oh, well, let me say, but there's a bill, though. A bill getting pushed for post-birth abortions, basically. Because, you know, they were questioning her about the bill. Like, I think it was a little Asian lady. Well, and she tried her best to try to talk around it, but I guess she wasn't prepared for that. And she tried her best to talk around it. So basically, the whoever was asking was like, so basically, you're saying up until birth? I mean, right? I mean, even minutes before, and then she was kind of like, yeah. And then she was saying, you know, right out, like, even, you know, what about right after? And so they were basically saying, like, right after birth, that, you know, you still have some time to fucking decide that. And that's crazy, man. Like, fuck that shit, man. And that's crazy. So basically, you had a kid, changed my mind. Like, what the fuck? But you know what that is? And I honestly feel like that is, it's because I think that, you know, people who end up having, or women who end up having children that have birth defects or have a problem, you know, a long-term health issue or something like that. I mean, that's what they're going to start doing. That's what they're going to start doing, man. You know, and it's terrible, man. It's fucking terrible. That's the wild shit. Oh yeah, I know low key they was already wilding out. 16? No, come on. I say up until puberty. I mean, now you're just going too far, Heidi. If you realize by the time they hit puberty, that ain't shit shaking with them kids, get them out of here. Heidi got a wrist. She got to time herself out. But nah, but seriously, the shit is wild, man. The shit is really, really wild, and it's fucking crazy. But what I was saying about Obama is, like, why do we as black people, you know, not me personally, and I'm sure not a lot of y'all, but, you know, the black community, why does Obama get this pass Like, why is he like the Lord and Savior, you know, when he did absolutely nothing? And you know why he didn't do anything, because black people ain't put no money on him. You know, they was wanting stuff from him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Obama phone and all that good shit. Even Obama phone turned on him. She's like, I ain't fucking with Obama in the next election. He ain't give me enough minutes on my Obama phone. Man, what? Like, I think that there should be a limit, but then you'd have to have like a proof of financial stability to have them after a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to be making so much a year to be able to have kids after a certain point. Like, you automatically, you know, you can have your couple, you know, maybe 2 or 3 or something. You can have that, what is that nuclear family? What is that? 2.5 kids and a dog or some shit. You can have your nuclear family, and then once you go past that, you know what I'm saying? Bow. Get up out of there. So, you know, it's very unfortunate. But like I say, my thing with Obama is, as a figurehead for young black men and women to say, hey, you know, all that stuff they told you, the rappers told you that you could never be president. They told you couldn't do this. They told you couldn't do that. They told you America was so bad you'd never be able to make it to the top. As a figurehead saying that you can do anything in this country, you know, as a figurehead saying that you can do anything in this country for people in the country to realize that it doesn't matter your race, color, skin, any of that. You never see no Asians trying to run for president. They got all the money. I hope I don't get banned for that, you know, but whatever. But they got it all figured out, and yet we praise fucking Obama for nothing. Like I said, as a figurehead showing that, you know, young black men and women, even, you know, there's youth at one point that's all he knew was Obama. Yeah, the young kids, and I would hope that that generation would do something different, but the way technology and everything is absorbing them, you don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Roscoe's Law. Mappa 2020. That's funny. But again, you say, I don't know, you think parents should just raise children out the government. Man, some of these parents are raising their kids on some crazy shit though, man. It's really wild. It's really, man, y'all look what y'all done, man. I'm blaming y'all. Look, I'm talking shit to y'all. It's y'all fault. Okay? I'm blaming y'all. I done been on this motherfucker talking for a whole hour. Ain't nobody said nothing about cut the motherfucking deadline on or nothing. So it's all y'all fault. I'm putting all the blame on y'all. Let me cut this motherfucking shit off, man. Give me just a second. Let me get everything appropriated. I've been in this motherfucker talking shit. I did not even think about it. There we go, man. Yeah, there we go. I'm just sitting here because I'm like, man, something I'm talking and running my mouth, and I'm just like, how long? Because, you know, sometimes the deadline be slow. So I'll be, you know, it is what it is. But I'm just sitting here thinking like, wait, something isn't right. And I appreciate that. But yeah, sometimes, man, like I say, I guess sometimes I'll be in my own little zone, my own head, thinking about shit. And then, you know, no, man, the deadline is mandatory. Shit. Spend money on this motherfucker. I better use that shit. Now that's something I believe in. I think like once you get a certain age, especially like if you in retirement age, that you should like have to take a driving test every year. You know, like every year, just because things can happen rapidly where you deteriorate as an old person. I've seen too many, like not seen on TV, like personally seen too many fucking old people driving in the wrong fucking lane. Like I could say at least 6 or 7 times in my life I've had to avoid old people driving in the wrong fucking, like driving toward, like what the fuck is going on, and you know have to swerve out, and even as you passing by, you to get a glimpse look, it's a little old lady and she on the wheel doing some shit like this. Like, come on, man. And it's not like you can bust a Yui and try to motherfucking save her. You just, well, I hope that old lady don't. I hope nothing happened to her. In the state of black politics, you might have a stroke, man. No, don't do that. Like, you gotta just. So, again, man, you know, yeah, like an Uber. That's they need to work that. I don't know. That might be a scary situation for everybody. That might be bad for everybody. What's up, Thomas? What's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, like I say, it's a lot of crazy stuff. Larry Elder, I like Larry Elder. I like I used to I hadn't listened to him in a while, but I was listening to him for a little while. I like Larry Elder. Clear, concise points. Man, somebody I like, and because I was listening to it today, and I told you I really don't fuck with breakfast. I'm glad you mentioned. I don't know how I got from that to this, but you know who I like a lot, in the way he thinks and his point of views. What's the fucking rapper? Killer Mike. Killer Mike, man. Killer Mike is very interesting in his points of views. Now, again, like I say, you know, politics are what they are. But I like independent thinking people. And so basically, you know, he had this point where today he was talking about he didn't think that, you know, if you have the ability that, you know, that black kids should go to school around, you know, other black kids to build up their confidence. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I'm like, I don't know about that, but I could see where he was coming from and basically what he's saying, because we have this complex these days that's very interesting. I'll get back to that in just a second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal? Josh, what would you like to drop in the den tonight, man?
All right, but about the chivalry part, it's pretty much something that's, like I've been saying, probably like a lot, probably in the den. It's just like, it's not just with women, it's with people. Just people don't know what they want, man. It's like, if you act this way, oh, I don't like a man to do this. Be this way, like, oh, I don't like when a woman did it. It's just like, we as a society never knows what we want out of life, period. So, and with that being true, it makes it hard for us to pretty much do anything. And that's what this chivalry stuff keeps happening, because now if I'm nice to a girl, it's almost like, well, I want a real man. I want a man that's going to like take care of me and show some backbone. But I just do that to try to get to know you, because with me, I'm just like me straight up. Here's how I do things. I'm gonna like hold the door for you and do that type of stuff just to like get to know you. But at the end, it's like that's when I'm gonna start being myself when it gets to that second, third step, and that's what people need to do. People need to realize, because nowadays, if you continue to be nice 24/7, it's just like a girl wouldn't get attracted to that type of stuff. I mean, especially black girls nowadays. So yeah, it is what it is. And that's pretty important. And one thing to follow up on what we was talking about, I don't know if it was last night, night before. This person just dropped a HBCU versus a PWI video, which is interesting. And they were arguing, talking about why does black people prefer PWIs over HBCUs, and the narrative is that if you're a PWI and they know that, it's like they're very, I want to be frank, they're really like pissed off at you, because it's like, oh, you sound like you're doing this, this, and this, but they don't really realize that it's just the world they're living in, and people trying to really make it out there for themselves. So, and with them, it's just like they had a group chat like I'm currently right now, and he was just like, hey, if anybody's in the PWR group chat, I'm kicking everybody out. And he went by one, kicking everybody out that wasn't in a HBCU. For you personally, I thought that was wrong, because I'm like, you don't just do that, because you never know who you're going to meet. I've been taught to never cut anybody off. But, hey, that's just me. He did it differently. And even the person that he was talking to on the side, because they had 4 people on the panel, they was going back and forth at him. They was going back at his comments, because it was just like, why can't we get any 5-star recruits to come to HBCU? And one black dude looked at him stupid and was like, good and well they're not coming over here because they won't have a good chance to go to the league as well. So, and he didn't want to admit that. He was like, hey, we can get someone over here. It just takes time. He's like, that's never going to happen. No one's choosing TSU over Duke University or something like that for basketball. It's just idiotic. So, it is what it is, man. We'll just see.
Man, that's a bit, man. Josh, I appreciate the call. You brought some very good points up there, man.
All right, man.
All right. Man. Josh said a lot. Got a lot of things I want to talk about what he said. I want to finish the Killer Mike thing and then come to that because you talked about the HBCUs, and that's something I did disagree with him on because he was talking about trying to get more blacks to go to HBCUs and things like that. But let's just be realistic. We know what happens there. I understand, like I say, I understand the pro-black thing. The where I fuck with Killer Mike is the business side of it because he talks about doing more business, about ownership and things like that. And I think if more blacks would start getting into ownership business, creating, that they would have a better, higher level of appreciation for shit as opposed to coveting bullshit and trying to make it into something that it's really not. But I'm going to cut that short because I want to get to some of the things that Josh said. And it's what he said a lot, and I don't know if he realized how much he said, even he was just telling that story. And part of it is where he just mentioned that the HBCU guy kicked everybody out who was at a PWO. Why? Is it because he feels like they're not as good as HBCU? No, because he feels like they think that they're better than. That's why. It has nothing to do with the quality. If everybody's there going to college to get an education, but they want to be a part of this chat, they just happen to be black or whatever, why kick them out? Because it's this mentality of it's always got to be some level of separation. It always has to be some kind of difference. And then, this false oppression and all this other stuff that happens. What is his real reasoning? And then, like he said about the kids coming to an HBCU from a 5-star recruit, why would you do that? You got high schools. I'm pretty sure Katy probably has better facilities than TSU. You see some of these high schools in Texas that have fucking multi-million-dollar stadiums and things like that. I haven't been around TSU in a while. Again, I don't know what they looking like, but yeah, Strahan did it, but I'm sure he wasn't highly recruited. It's a few people that can do it. But the thing about it is, one, if you wanted to be more respected, then you're going to have to, if you graduate from an HBCU, which is the numbers are extremely low, and if you graduate into a good job, which the numbers are relatively low percentage, then you got to take some of that money you make and pour back into it, which you get from these quote unquote PWIs. I'd rather PWA, but that's a whole other story and song, but we'll get into that later. But just to differentiate is that the people go on from these schools, they make good money. You have a few of them or a good amount of them become millionaires or whatever else, and they donate back to their fucking their universities, their alumni. They put money back into the schools for better facilities, for better things. Look at what Tillman's doing. Look at what Tillman's pouring a shit ton of money into U of H, and making it a bit more respectable. I forgot what it is. It's something, a predominantly white institution. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I forgot what it's supposed to be. But again, like I say, they're actually PAIs, predominantly Asian institutes, because the Asians are getting them all. It's like combined diamonds, like I say, and that's what the thing is, man. Again, it's a lot of craziness. It's a lot of tomfoolery. What's the motherfucking deal? I just seen somebody. Who was it? Smart Shillington. Welcome to the chat. No, all day on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, blaming and pointing fingers again. Exactly. Everybody's mad at Liam Neeson. I'm not mad at Liam Neeson. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not mad at Liam Neeson. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because one, the shit happened 40 years ago. Okay, you say, well, 40 years ago don't mean that his views changed. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. If Liam Neeson didn't want you to know that, yes, non-HBCU. If Liam Neeson didn't want you, you would have never known. You'd still be watching Taken. You'd be watching this Cold Pursuit shit. Now they're trying to get him digitally removed out of some other movie that he's supposed to be in. I think Men in Black. They're talking, we want to get him digitally removed. Liam Neeson hates black people. He's Men in Black. Just a joke, bad joke. But again, the dude was straight up and honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Very honest, and just talked about how he felt about something, and then explained why he grew from that. Because if he didn't want you to know, but who was going to be able to? There was no random black guy that he beat up or killed that was going to tell you that story. He said that because he wanted to explain his level of thinking. Again, I tell y'all, just a few years ago, man, I had a completely different way of thinking. But I went through experiences that they contested my beliefs. And I had to stop and take a look at my belief system and say, okay, what's really going on here? What's really the problem? What's, and really reevaluate myself, and then really look at what the facts were. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But this man told y'all something from 40 fucking years ago. Y'all done watched every fucking movie he done put out since. Now y'all mad all of a sudden because he told you something because it doesn't make you feel good about you. Who gives a fuck? Like, who truly gives a fuck? But again, what's going on, brother? Like I said, I don't care about shit like that. Like, what do you really got going on in your life that really affects you, that impacts you that much? I mean, it's beyond me. It's really beyond me. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not even tripping on Liam like that. It is what it is. Okay, bet. I'm gonna check that video out. I'm gonna check that video out in a little while. But again, it is what it is, man. It is. People are upset. I don't quite understand, but thanks for answering my question. It's very complicated. It's the family dynamic being with the act of courting. Okay. You're saying what is now viewed as a positive interaction between a man and a woman. Don't listen to Heidi. Don't listen to Heidi. But yeah, pretty much. It's kind of true, but it's not. I mean, I don't know what a positive interaction. I mean, if you get if you get twerked on in the club, that's a fair exchange. You buy her some drinks, she twerks on you in the club, y'all both got what you wanted. That's modern day chivalry. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's modern day chivalry. Again, like I said, my deal is the only racism I give a fuck is if it's a direct impact on me. If somebody directly tells me something off the wall, and again, they don't have to get or attempt to show that they trying to get physical behind it. Outside of that, I ain't even tripping on that shit. I fuck with Thomas Sowell. I got a bunch of Thomas Sowell books here. I got one I want to read. What is it? What is it? Black Rednecks? I forgot what the rest of it is. I've got it, and I hadn't had a chance to crack it open yet. But yeah, I got a couple of books from Thomas Sowell here. But my thing is, unless you really just trying to get off on, I think you finna get fucking froggy, and you just using that as a rhyme. But again, I believe in not allowing words to stir you up. I will not allow words to trigger me. I'm not giving you any of my power. Like I say, me and my pops, we've had a on again, off again, conversational type relationship. But if there's one thing I remember from my youth that him telling me, or I was younger, about maybe teenage years, is about not giving away your power. And it took me a minute to kind of get it. But if a motherfucker can control your reaction, can control how you feel, control how you respond to stuff, and all I got to do is say a couple of key words, and it makes you, I can control how you're going to respond. I can control how you're going to react. I can ruin your day by saying a couple of things. Then I have power over you. I'm not talking about the show Power. I don't watch that shit either. But I have power over you. And so a thing that I had to learn was to not allow somebody to have that type of power over me just through the usage of words. So that's why I have shit that comes up, man, that shit brushes off. If I choose to entertain it, maybe to clarify something or to get into some nonsense, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? 45-7. You know, but Milton Friedman, I want to say I've come across some of his work, but it seems like it's been a while. But I want to say I've seen some of his work. It was something about that name sticks out for a reason, and so I'll have to see what it was about that. But again, you know, bringing logic to the situation, you know, that's what it's all about, man. Logic and understanding. Let's take all the emotions out of it. You know, I don't care about how I feel about something. No, I'm not checking out all these. Now there's too many names. Edmund. Only Edmund I talk to is Edmund that calls in. God damn it. Let's call it the locus of control, right? Carl Jung. Hold on, okay, that's not who I thought it was. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, how's it going, Honcho? This is Thomas Rodriguez from Fresno, California.
Already, Thomas, and shout out to Fresno. How you doing this evening, Thomas? What would you like to drop in the den tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm liking the conversation, man. I tell you, I'm 54 years old, so I'm just going to put out some news there for some of these youngsters. What you're talking about is just shaking that shit off your shoulders and just taking what comes and analyze it individually instead of, you know, always having the racism part in it and somebody's dissing me. I tell you what, when I grew up, I was born in that area, and my parents, you know, got going. We were in the second ward. I think by the time I went to elementary, we went to Frost Elementary, which was right down the road from Sterling High School.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was in second grade, I went to Bastion. It was off 610 and MLK. Back then, I can't even remember what that street was called back then. But now it's MLK. By the time I got into third grade, my parents moved us to right off Bissonnet and Wesleyan, right north of West U. Okay. And back in those days, I mean, you could, you know, people could, you know, scrape together and get a house and, you know, and make it out there. It wasn't the $1 million homes like I see now. I'm in California for the last 27 years, but, you know, on that street, let me tell you, we had a Saudi Arabian family. We had a black family. We were the Latinos. We had an Asian family right next door. I didn't even know until I was 13 or 14, but we had a same-sex couple. So we had it all, man. You're talking about you getting into street fights, playing football and baseball in between. You have a little skirmishes, and you know, people calling me, you know, wetback and throwing back the N-word and the sand N-word. You name it. We had that little skirmishes all right through there. But you know what? 15 minutes later, we were back on the field playing baseball or football, and you know, it was off our back. It was gone. You know, I wish these youngsters these days would learn to appreciate life like that and just let shit just shake off your back. You know, it's a hard thing to do, but you know, we got some hope out there. I think you know, people just got to learn to accept people for the good and the bad. People make mistakes, and you know, we always trivialize somebody else's, but we forget about our own. So, and that's what I wanted to drop out there. I just kind of like some of the stuff you were saying, and it reminded me a lot of that.
Man, that's what's up. That's good to hear, though, man. I agree, though. I do agree that we definitely blow up what everybody else does and try to discount our own, you know, mistakes. But man, I appreciate the call there, Thomas. Man, I really do.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Thomas, man. That's oh, let me do this before it start ringing. Let me go talking about ear rape. That's what's up, man. And that's what I'm saying. I'm laughing because of the same sex situation. But yeah, man, diversity is what it is. People make mistakes. People fuck up. You know, it is what it is. And I think about that because, like I say, man, when I was younger, like most of my life, my friends have always either been Hispanic or the majority. My best friends have been Hispanic, or I've hung around a lot of Hispanics because, like I said, when my mom was young, you know, she worked at Exxon, and I stayed with a Hispanic family, and so, you know, I was 3 or 4 speaking Hispanic. Not speaking Spanish though. And so I've always, I guess, I've always had a diverse array of friends, and I've always been able to, my thing is, I guess it's weird because, like I said, I was in the gifted and talented class, and this is why I was saying I disagree with Killer Mike, because I was the only black kid in those classes for a while, through most of my school career, until I got this stupid ass idea in my head that, I need to be around more of my people. I need to, it ain't none of them in these classes, so I'm gonna get out these classes. And it was all downhill from there. But I agree, man. You got to get to the point where motherfuckers get so sensitive about shit, and you overlook people for their real qualities. And I had an exact thought that I was trying to, and it's slipping. It's like right on the edge of what I was thinking about. And I'm gonna remember it here. But basically, hold on, you missing out. Let me see. What was? Let me see. You didn't give you pistachios? Hold on, man. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's funny because I was thinking about that yesterday. I see that asked Caitlin. I was like, yeah, somebody need to put Bruce to see if he'd respond. But my thing is, diversity. And like I said, I used to talk shit. And, me and my buddy, we definitely talk shit to each other. And actually, again, like I said, a Mexican was the first person I've ever heard call anybody a wetback. So that's super funny to me. But yeah, man, like I said, that's what I know what I was gonna say, is that the problem that we have these days, and it's been like this, is one, we've attached ourselves to situations that happened prior to in history, and we feel like, oh, we're still fighting that good fight, when we have it 200 times better than any of those people. But because something happened to them, we're carrying that torch. Then the problem is nowadays that instead of looking for our similarities, the first thing we do is look for our differences. Well, they don't look like me. Well, they don't eat the same food I eat. They don't talk like I talk. They speak a different language. They have a different house, a different lifestyle. Just a bunch of differences is what we look for. And you may name 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever differences. But then if you start looking at the similarities that you have with your fellow man, there's more than it's an endless number of them. And I think that's the thing, that we're so busy wanting to be different, to stand out, or to feel some type of way. That we feel like, we're not validated unless we can point out where somebody has it a little bit better than we do, or, where they said something bad. See, that one of them said something bad, so they're all thinking like that. I forgot where they've come from. I forgot where they headed. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm even thinking about. I made a little thing. I never posted, but I was just saying, with Black History Month, like I'd rather be thinking about the Black future than the Black history, because we're headed downhill. Honestly, those people back then had it better in the sense of an understanding of life, a real perspective of where their life was, and what they were capable of, and where they were headed. Now we see everybody else, and because we have all this information, we don't know what the fuck we want to do with ourselves. And so we too busy wanting to, well, these people got this and these people got that. Well, guess what? Those people came together and they built that. Like, people we can talk about, slavery and all that shit. That sounds good. But then when you tell them about, okay, well, what about Madam C.J. Walker? She went from a literal slave to making changes in politics, in the sense of she was putting money behind her beliefs, because money talk, bullshit walk 1,000 miles. Madam C.J. Walker was a real slave, became a real millionaire by, fucking being creative, paying attention, fulfilling a need, and she took that, and then she started getting change made for people. But people don't realize that, man. People don't get that. There's always the excuse, well, we were slaves. Okay. But there was a lot of us that weren't slaves. There's a lot of them there was a lot of freedmen who, and why were they, and why did they, what did they do? What kept them free, or what helped them benefit? Education, an understanding. There were black congressmen way back before you know, these new motherfuckers, like, why were they successful? Why were they able to thrive? Yes, there were issues, there were incidents, there were things that were taking place, and it could have been on a grand scale. But there were also a lot of successful, a lot of successful black people back then. But we don't ever want to look at that. All we want to look at is the negative and then associate ourselves with the negatives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 21 Savage, all right, free 21. 21 Savage is going to go back to fucking Britain or Brixton, wherever he is, where he's from. And he's going to be fine and dandy, and his family's going to be taken care of. Guess what? He can rap over there, and that music's going to still come over here, and he'll be able to come over here and do shows and whatever else. Nothing's going to happen to 21 fucking Savage. Like, what? Bring him back to Atlanta. That's where we need him. He can only thrive in Atlanta. Get the fuck on, man. Like, miss me with that bullshit. Like, now, like I said, I like the young brother because he was changing his game up. He was, you know, getting away from the jewelry bullshit. He was actually talking about doing better shit with himself. But, you know, unfortunately that happened. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, he was really doing, because again, he was actually teaching financial literacy classes. He was going in and he was buying real estate, and again, which some people should be doing anyway. But so a lot of things, and it is what it is, man. So like I said, I'm not knocking him because I didn't care for him at all at first. But once I, you know, seen that he was seeing the opportunity that was available and making change, I can respect that. But I wonder if that has to do with his British roots, than more so, you know, an American black. I wonder what that has to, what's the basis of that. But again, at this point in time, man, look, I've already told you, I've told y'all my story 1,000 times about what changed my perspective about black businesses. I've told y'all 1,000 times why I have to, you know, just how I feel and why I feel the way I feel, you know, why I kind of got away from the whole, just super pro-black mentality. And it was realism. Again, those same people that, you know, when you start offering solutions, when you start trying to literally come up with answers and things like that, they don't, you know, they ain't trying to hear that. They just want to talk about why we can't do it. Well, the reason you can't do it is because you're only focusing on the negative or the not doing shit. Like, come on, man, let's go for the win. And so, you know, it's crazy, man. This is more successful black Americans than Brits. Oh, then shit, he can Heidi's going for I think about 3,500 pistachios per grab. You know, we gotta find a way. We gotta get Heidi out of her predicament. Oh man, so have y'all heard about the new emojis that are supposed to be coming out? And apparently, I seen that on the DeFranco thing earlier. Apparently, they're making one like this or something, and so I guess for all the unsolicited dick pics that women are getting, they're saying that's going to be the official emoji for that. One thing is that we need some new emojis because memes are great with emojis. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very interesting what happens with that. So one pistachio, that's fucked up. Say it don't make no difference. He changed what he did as a gangbanger, hurt the hood. Yeah, I can understand that. But I think that here's my deal with that. Because like I say, you know, like I said, I've made my mistakes in life. But I think environment plays a small part in things, but the decisions you make as you go along plays as you grow. Now, I ain't shot nobody, or I ain't killed nobody. I think that's a whole different thing. You know, that's permanent damage. Maybe, you know, you got to go, and money doesn't, you know, fix that. But I think it's a tough thing because this is what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about like T.I. Now he's trying to be an activist now, but he's not renouncing any of the music he ever made. You know, guys like that who you still profiting off whatever royalties you're getting off that, you're not denouncing any of that, but all that shit was more of a negative impact than anything Trump has ever done to the black community, you know? And so I understand that, you know, but I think that you got to give people credit for trying to fix themselves to get away from when they know better and they learn better. You got to give people the opportunity to grow. And so that's why I say I don't hold my fault. Like, get away from that bullshit ass behavior. Now, like I say, the music has changed up a little bit. It's still some of that old shit in there. But say Johnny Manziel's whole family was a mafia, so I don't even know nothing about him, but I wouldn't be surprised. And so, you know, my thing is, say just to be clear, what are we talking about now? Everything, just everything, because we didn't went all over the place, but we're talking about 21 Savage at the time and just kind of him changing up. And like I say because of, you know, the dirt and stupid shit that I've done, but like I say, I ain't never took nobody from their family or nothing like that. Shit, you let people tell it, they'll try to say I did, but. You know, and that's why I say that's why I'm a person. That's why I say I hate rumors, and that's why, you know, maybe sometimes, you know, people's like, oh, Honcho, you say it too much, you do it too much. But I try to be transparent. I try to be, because I know what people will try to do with falsehoods and things like that. Because, like I said, there's been situations in my life where you could say wrong time, wrong place, or maybe, you know, right time or wrong situation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. People will take and spread rumors and try to say, you know, this, and this about you. And so I've had it happen on varying levels and varying instances. So, you know, I try to be as authentic and as open as I can be. So, you know, yeah, but that's my thing though. I agree with you on that though. Like I said, I don't condone the bullshit. And so that's why I say, you know, niggas is doing more damage than niggas than any of this other shit. You know, we celebrate niggas because they got bodies on them and they killing niggas and they selling dope. And who you selling dope to? You selling dope to the motherfuckers who look just like you. You selling dope to your partner mama or your partner uncle, whoever. You know, you telling the youth, hey man, fuck school. This is how you get money. You know, and you got them caught up in that trap. It's not the white man saying that you have to do this, because if you really wanted to do something, you know, all this money you making, instead of buying jewelry, instead of buying all this bullshit, start businesses in the hood and get these little niggas jobs, man, so that they don't have to be doing that dumb shit. You know, you take your own risk and do whatever dirt you doing if that's how you choose to do it. But instead of putting these little niggas on, but here, I'm gonna give you some dope and go to this. Now, start a job, start a business where, you know, this little nigga can understand, you know, from the ground up. Because we talk about, oh, we don't know how to do, but shit, figure it out. You know. It's very Dinesh D'Souza, I don't know, I've heard that name before too, but I haven't fully listened to him, you know. So again, like I say, it's wild. That's wild, man. Yeah, Thomas Sowell is legit though. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to call it and look stupid, man. Call it. You know the den is whatever. So if you came in, you called in, you was talking about some fucking fried chicken that you had last week or something, you know, we gonna talk about it in the den. You know what I'm saying? That's the den, man. We gonna talk about whatever. There's no fucking. You know, that's him. Okay, that's where I've heard that name before. Okay, I remember him. And then he wrote a book or something about him, or something like that. You know, it is what it is. You know, so again, he got street credit now. He went to jail. He got street credit. See, that's the one you got to tell little niggas, hey man, look, this nigga went to jail, man. So shit, you got to listen. They gonna listen to him just because he went to jail. Oh, word? Went to jail? How long he did? And that's my thing too. Like, why is that a fucking? Why is that? Well, judgment versus proof here. You know what? Let me jot that down. Let me jot it down. We'll make it happen this week. And again, like I say, man, anytime y'all have ideas or y'all want to, man, I'm slacking. I ain't put up none of the little shits today because I guess I was running halfway late. I'll put it up after this. We got a call coming in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? This D-Love.
D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
All right, so as far as what the?
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
On the Alexa Tripman, I ain't even call her name, but
They
it's
listening.
about the. Oh no, man! About the being a gentleman thing. I forgot what it started with a C. I forgot what y'all call it.
Chivalry.
Yeah. Okay. That's all. I mean, I like holding doors open for women, and for some reason they like doing the same thing for me. So like when they hold the door, like when a woman hold the door open for me, and I try to take it. They insist that I go through. I just be like, thank you. You're such a gentleman. And for some reason they kind of take offense to that. I'm like, I don't get it, but yeah. As far
Hey, man, equality, man. Like you got to take that, man. Look, hey, that's fucking funny though. Go ahead.
No, but as far as I say as far as throwing the jacket on the floor, I mean, I haven't seen that done. Like growing up, I mean, I saw it done like on films. Dating back into generations ago and stuff like that. But I never even seen that. Yeah, you made a good point. I messed up a good jacket. I mean, it may get you may get some more tonight, but is it worth it? That's the question. But so as far as the black community and stuff like that, because I noticed that then started turning towards that topic. I just I could be wrong. I mean, any old heads, you or any old heads in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that the biggest problem in the black community was the divide in the family. When the child, typically when the child grows up without, the father figure or without the mother, without both parents in the house, it usually goes out of hand because, I believe that either you will raise your child or, the government will raise your child or whatever other influences that your child or the child may perceive. So I think that's probably one of the biggest problems in the black community. Once again, y'all can correct me if I got something else. So,
but I definitely agree with that because I think it has a trickle down effect, and why I say that is, starts at the top with the family. So, say you have both parents in the home, if one or even if both parents work, then now you have incomes coming into the home to sustain. You ain't got to do a lot of the negative behaviors. The kids can focus on learning, not trying to be out in the streets, pay bills. But you hear a lot of stories about little niggas who, man, my mama was doing bad, so I had to become a man at 12 and start selling dope.
I hear a lot of that.
And that shit's crazy to me. That shit is. Anyway, we're gonna get into that's a whole nother conversation. Or even if mom stays home and dad works. As a young man or a young woman, you see that dynamic. And I'm not saying that all women got to be stay-at-home moms or whatever, but you have a parent that's at home. You see if you're a son, instead of you running out and trying to be like the niggas in the streets, because that's the only motherfuckers you see, getting a little bit of money. Everybody wants to be successful, but the only way you see successful with your own eyes is the little niggas in the streets. You see, well, my dad worked hard. He's established his work ethic in me. He taught me this, and this, but you have that in the home. But now when you have I don't need a man in my house. I'm an independent woman, but I got to work too much. So I can be like, I don't think a lot of women realize the residual effects that happen with making those decisions when you make poor decisions with who you sleeping with and things like that. And men too, they got to take their share of the responsibility. But that's why I say you can't be putting the pussy on the pedestal, be too hyped to get some action and not protect yourself and everything else. Like I said, there's a lot of dynamics, there's a lot of layers to it, and Rising Phoenix eats Zaxby's with Fat Girl. So anyway, but I agree with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even to say that, it's a guarantee that it'll fail, because I know some women that raise a male child on their own and they come out to be pretty good. Andre Johnson to be one of them. But yeah, no, I have a cousin who grew up with his mother. So it's not to say that it's a guarantee that women, raising single mothers will be unsuccessful. And I do agree. I think women should, should get rid of this I don't need a man attitude. And more than anything, I think a man should get rid of the deadbeat attitude. It ain't mine attitude, and when they find out it is, and for some reason, I think men think they got the mentality that because they don't have to carry the child, that they get to walk off. more than anything, I need them to get rid of that as well because a lot of people say it takes a village to raise a child, but would you really need a village if both parents just co-parent and do whatever? And there's a statistic that says that it says something like children are a lot more successful when both parents are married. So I just thought that was interesting and wanted to throw that out there.
I got a question for you though. When you talked about your cousin, you mentioned Andre Johnson. Were there ever any real strong male role models, even though it may not have had a father present, it was a single mom, but was there a strong male presence in the sense of either coaching or maybe a mentor or somebody, because I would assume that, Andre, he had to take to some level of coaching probably at a young age to become what he became. I think that happens with a lot of these guys. It's a coach that sparks that manhood in them or that understanding that is absent. That's primarily what happens with a lot of these athletes. But that's why I'm just inquiring. You mentioned your cousin.
Oh yeah, okay. It's Andre Johnson. I only heard about my dad told me about that. But so my cousin, yeah. I mean, to be honest, there was strong role models in his life. He has an older brother. Mm-hmm. That was I'm pretty sure that was a great influence, and he also had my father that was a good influence on him. Mm-hmm. So I say his mother is my aunt, and she's a strong woman, but she's a woman of wisdom. Mm-hmm. Right, so she's not what you would define as the B word at all. So she instilled some great qualities in him, but once again, I mean, he had my father as a role model, and his older brother, I believe he was probably the biggest male figure, because he's also, his side of the family is good. My side of the family is good as well, but yeah, I mean, he had great male figures, so I'm pretty sure that's what got him. Because right now he just graduated high school, and now he's working, and yeah, he didn't go to college, and I tell him that if he didn't know what he wanted to do, then not going to college is the best thing. But that's besides the point. But to answer your question, he had great male figures.
Okay. I mean, that's what I inquire. Yeah, sometimes that it may not be someone directly there, but they have auxiliary access to solid male figures. So okay, that's just all I was curious about.
All right. Yeah. All right, but that's my call, Honcho. I appreciate it.
All right, D-Love, man. Appreciate it. Great call as always, man. Let me catch back up. I seen it. Don't listen to Heidi about anything involving bear shaking. Let me go back here for a second because I've seen some stuff and I wanted to kind of get on it. Okay. I say Rob had got timed out, but there was a couple of things he said, and I understand where Rob is coming from, but at the same time, again, there has to be, I feel like, a level of forgiveness, because again, if you just don't know, if you've never been introduced, it's some scumbag motherfuckers out there, some scumbag families out there. It's moms who encourage these sons to go out and live a life of crime. They get with these niggas who are all about that, and then they have kids behind, well, your daddy used to do this, this, and this, even though he's got him locked up. And they encourage these children to do that. And so, again, some motherfuckers don't know better. Now, if you know better and you choose to continue to embrace that lifestyle and that's what you want to do, then I think, it's questionable. But I think you have to, I don't say you have to forgive, but I think you have to understand, you have to understand if they're trying to do better, because again, certain habits are hard to break, especially if you've been raised a certain way. If you had a family that's a whole certain way, especially like some of them motherfuckers in California, it's not a lifestyle to be in a gang. It's a family thing. So they mamas in gangs, they daddies in gang, they uncle auntie and whatever else. It's just a whole, so that's all they know. If that's all you've ever known, it can be difficult. It's a lot of people with a lot of information that surround has been like that since, forever. But people don't, all you'd have to do, they have this mental focus on whatever it is that's going on in their life at the time, when they would if they would take a break and say, look over to the left or look over to the right, and that information that you need to If that information that you need is available, then you take that and it can change your life. But some people just don't know. Some people just don't get it. And I can't fault them. You're human beings, you know it is. But if you continue, I agree though, if you continue to celebrate and embrace, especially once you've gotten out of that level and you're not impoverished, you know, and this is a thing that killed me when niggas be talking about, oh, we poet so bad, it's this and this, but you hustling and you making, you know, you're 100K or you making you 50, 60K. That's not poverty. If you making that in a year, you out of poverty, you know? And so that's why I say that's where niggas need to change their fucking mentality, you know, because they don't have the mansion or they don't have the this or they don't have the that, you know, okay. Well, once you making, you know, and you hustle, you doing whatever, you making a certain amount of money in a year, you eating good, then you need to start changing the way what you're talking about. But instead, it's all about the fast life, you know, the cash and the money making, all that other stuff. And I think that's where you get motherfuckers get caught up because they get fall in love with the lifestyle. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man. But I just want to call and just say this quick thing because I know I'm probably late to this, but it's a cold world out there, man. So I'm not sure you heard the story, but imagine if you was playing for the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. And you get traded in the middle of the game. So now you have to come sit on the bench. Let's say the game started in the first quarter. You have to come sit on the bench, sit for the rest of the game, and the team can't tell you why. And you just have to just sit there. Then all of a sudden you get notified at the end of the game, oh, shoot, you just got traded just right now. So you have to pack his bags and go fly somewhere just because you just got traded. So it's bad, man. It's cold business, and no one in the world really cares about you like that. So it is what it is.
Man, who did that happen to?
Harrison Barnes for the Mavs.
Oh,
like they traded him like in the middle of the game.
No, fuck it. It is what it is. You know, trade deadline coming up. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make moves. I don't know why that shit fucking blurred out. But here's my thing with that, man. Fuck it. You get millions to do it. Because I was thinking about that earlier because I know the Rockets picked up a couple of niggas who just got traded, I want to say from Portland to whoever, to Cleveland and now they in Houston. And so they about to probably get traded again. So I could only imagine what these niggas up to. They like, fucking nigga, we just gonna stay at the hotel. We ain't even finna try to buy no house where we at. Because we hopping all over the place. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, it would be different if they wouldn't make a million.
The Lakers doing that dumb shit because now y'all just seen that game. They didn't quit on that, man. That's why they got blown out last night.
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck about it. Fuck LeBron. That's what I'm saying. Like LeBron is on some full-fledged. But man, this ain't goddamn sports. This the goddamn damn. We ain't talking about no damn sports, man. But I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Already. Yeah, and you're talking about some damn sports. I don't want to talk about no goddamn sports. Fuck them niggas. We'll talk about them in the sauce. But again, man, you know. So it's really unfortunate. Mick, what's the motherfucking deal? Just there, good to see you. Where's Paris? I don't know where's Paris. Cold world. But again, I feel like there has to be a certain level of forgiveness if you're truly trying to change. If you're truly trying to change. Now, if you just on some other shit and you still doing the same dirt, then that's messed up. Yeah, the fact that the cell was dying. It'd be like that sometimes. But again, you know, like, girl, let me call you back. I'm on 1%. But my thing is, I feel like everybody deserves that ability to change. So the same way when we're talking about Liam, I feel like you got to give 21 that ability to change. But the thing about it is, and I guess in his own way, he's giving back. I guess in your own way, I don't know, you probably don't want to incriminate yourself for the shit that you did, but you got a motherfucking me. You know, he was trying to give back in his own way. Like I say, you know, having the financial literacy, I mean, that's something that will help teach the youngsters to get up out the hood and all that other stuff. But I'm not going to hate him for that because, like I say, I started seeing him make the changes, or I'm assuming it looks, you know, appeared that he was changing the way his behaviors were. But you got a lot of these people who are still in the hood, still stuck in the hood mentality. And they don't want to change. They okay with that. They okay living that life, even though they have money to do better, but they want to blame everybody else for their situation or why they don't get out of it. One, because they're comfortable in the motherfucking hood, excuse me. Two, because, and it's a funny thing because, you know, they sit there saying that they oppressed and everything else is going on, but they like being they like being in the hood with money because that way they, you know, they shitting on other people, because if they know they went somewhere else with that, then they wouldn't really be as well off as they like to appear. You know, they like living in the hood because of that turmoil and that tumultuous lifestyle that the hood brings, that lack of certainty. You know, it is what it is. Baker McCain. Oh, let's see. Yeah, and that's my deal, man. And that's my deal, you know. So a lot of it is excuses. A lot of it is bullshit. But, you know, I can't change the world. We can only talk about it in the den. Again. So, if y'all are, you know, on the, you say your weed man got shot and robbed in his apartment with his father and wife. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck, man. I was just listening to some shit the other day. Motherfucker was basically, I want to say, was it on Tears in the Bayou or whatever? Your old buddy. Well, old buddy was talking about shit. You know, they came in to rob him. He's like, shit, they gave him everything they want. They still shot some niggas, and the niggas took the PlayStation. Like, that's my thing. And that's why I say, like, jackers and motherfuckers, like, you're not doing that because you down bad. You're not doing that because the white man got his foot on your neck. You doing that shit because that's what the fuck you want to do. Because that's what you get a thrill out of. Jack moves, you know, getting away with shit. It's a thrill involved in it. It's a rush that no drug's gonna give you. Hustling, it affords you a lifestyle, you know, that you could quit once you got a certain amount of money. Once you know, you talk about growing up in poverty and doing this and this, well, you can make a certain amount of money and then you can say, okay, I'm out the game. But motherfuckers don't do that. They, you know, they go a different route. I don't know about the Hodgson. I really don't pay attention to too much. I'm like, here's my thing. I'm gonna be honest, okay? Because I think you have genuine people, black people who are about, you know, certain beliefs. That I do think you have certain black people who pander to cater to people. They try to sell this thing to them, and I think it happens on both sides. And I'm not just saying you know, conservative. It happens with Republicans too. I mean, not Republicans, with Democrats too. Because I mean, look at your fucking your Roland Martins and all them. Those, to me, those are the fucking coons, man. Exactly. Race hustling, poverty pimping, that type of shit. I can't stand it, man. Like I can't stand it. Oh, they were Marines? I didn't even know that. Motherfucker's weird to me. But you got people who will sell it. And that's why I say, man, that's why I say it often, that I'm not no particular side. It's just one side is really standing out right now with the tomfoolery that they're embracing. But I can understand, you know, everybody's perspective. Man, I seen that Saints Row 3 is on the thing. Man, what's up with that new shit, that free one? Everybody's talking about that Battle Royale, Apex something. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it. But I've been hearing that everybody's talking about that bitch is dope. Some people saying that's the best Battle Royale game they've ever played and shit like that. So I was probably gonna fuck around with it for a little bit when I get off the den, maybe 30, 40 minutes or so. You know, it's pretty good. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely check it out. Man, you know what? On Xbox, you know, you have the Game Pass, and that Crackdown 3. That Crackdown 3 is supposed to be coming out. And I was almost interested because I heard, you know, the first two Crackdowns were supposed to be real good games, until I realized that the main character is basically Terry Crews. So I won't be playing that. I don't want to get infected with non-toxic masculinity. So, you know, there's that. So it's like Titanfall with. Oh yeah, I need to fuck with it then. That's because Titanfall was my shit. Titanfall was one of the games I was actually halfway decent at. Halfway, I had fun playing fucking Titanfall. That shit is that shit is tight. I fuck with Titanfall. See, in the text cut, you're in the middle. Go to California. I'm Superman. Oh, terrible. I'm a MAGA man. Crackdown 2 is basically a childhood. Like I said, I haven't played it. You know, PS now they just copying and shit. I don't even know what that shit is. I'm just talking shit. Oh man, tighten up Titanfall. Titanfall. The thing about Titanfall, man, it didn't get the love because EA didn't really embrace it. They didn't really push it like they should have. That Titanfall 2, I know. When y'all talk about Xbox and shit, like I say, trust me, I be feeling old too because I don't be on it like I need to. That's MAGA outside. Well, I guess that is then. I guess I'm a MAGA man. Mega Man. Yeah, I don't know about that throwback shit. You say Crackdown 3, man. Look, Crackdown, it's coming out. Oh, but you know what is coming out like next week, and I had no fucking idea. And I might have to bring back the Mixer crew for it. Shit. Fucking, there's a new fucking Far Cry coming out. And it takes place after Far Cry 5. And there's like, I just happen to be, you know, like I said, I went to download that Apex thing, and there was some other little shit. If you like this, you know, you might like such and such. And I just so happened to see that. I forgot what it was, Far Cry something. And it takes place after the ending of Far Cry 5, so it's still in Hope County. But it's got two fucking twins, and they got two fucking twins. They black chicks with blonde hair. So I think Far Cry, the new one, is like new something. I think it takes place in the hood. I don't know. I think it's two twins with blonde weave. They're black and they beating the shit out of people. Sounds dangerous. New Dawn, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looked like it should have been a fucking fucking deal. Man, I'm glad you mentioned that, D-Love. I just chopped it up with Man Things the other day. We think we're supposed to do it tomorrow. I think we're supposed to do a Sauce Society tomorrow. So, and I'm glad you said that. And I meant to. I didn't stream earlier. So yeah, so it'll probably be a Sauce Society tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. I'll make sure I post something on the social medias, probably on mine, the Ed Honcho HTXs on Instagram or Twitter. I'll make sure to post that on the Sauce Society to let y'all know what time. I forgot. I'm glad you said that. Completely fucking slipped my mind, and I meant to say that. Glad you said that. There she got you. Tropico 5. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that one. But again, yeah. So yeah, that New Dawn, I definitely might end up checking that out. But yeah, Crackdown comes out the same day as New Dawn. But Crackdown, like I said, I got the Game Pass, so it would be free. But you know, toxic masculinity, Terry Crews can't play. Like, I know they have to be like real upset with him for that shit, because Game Pass is kind of so, and that's something that they could really be pushing and promoting. But there's like a shit ton of backlash for that dude right now, so they don't even want to fucking they don't even want to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go play street football and plug the Xbox. Well, I can't throw the ball to myself. All right, so there's that, buddy. Yeah, the gym always works, but then I want to play video games. But nah, now there's something I was gonna talk about here. Let me see. D-Love had talked about dividing the family, and what he was saying, I completely agree with, and that is, you have to have. Let me not say you have to, because you always got those assholes like, well, here's this one time that, you know, those fucking anomaly situations. They always got to bring that up. But there's always, your safest bet is to have a full family, to be successful. And I think what's happening nowadays is, women are becoming more incentivized not to. Now, I'm not saying men don't play their part in certain situations, and I'm not saying it's all on women, because Heidi will call me a woman hater, say I'm woman bashing. And we've already clarified I don't woman bash. I love the ladies. I like the hoes. It's just those bitches I can't deal with. And so, like I say, there are issues, but I think people need to really look into it and say, for the best outcome of my family, because that's ultimately what it is. What sacrifices am I going to make? Now, there's certain relationships that are just fucking incompatible. But if your relationship becomes ruined because, I'm just not happy, you're overlooking the well-being of your kids, you're overlooking the well-being of, everything else, but just because for your own happiness, your selfishness, you need to play that off until the kids are fucking grown or whatever the fuck you need to do. But we need more families together. And the fact that they're just kind of, it's dissipating, and I agree. Feminism has this whole belief that, you don't need men for anything. I wish men were never born. If men were never born, women doesn't get born because, you got to fertilize the fucking eggs, What happens to the chickens when they don't get their eggs fertilized? Just get a bunch of fucking eggs and a bunch of fucking cholesterol. And, that's that. But seriously, we got to come together. We got to figure it out. Goes for a streamer, how it gets abused or whatever. You need mine, he cooks for you. Well, isn't that nice? That is sweet. Breakfast in bed. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And that's the thing. I'm impolite, I'm a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I'm rude. I don't get items off the top shelf for ladies. Well, you better jump. You better jump. That's what you better do, goddamn it. No, I don't think I'm that cold-hearted. I think maybe once or twice I have. The time I'm just acting like I'm ignoring people with my headphones in or some shit. But yeah, that's definitely a difficult task, man. Yeah, definitely a difficult task. Yeah, you're going to have, and here's not to say that women can't do certain things. There are women who go into certain fields and they're damn good at what they do. But let's just be honest. Again, anomalies, those outliers, you know what I mean? It's just, let's not count on that. People love to use those arguments. Well, this one time, yeah, that's what you gotta, yeah. Oh, and that's tough. Or, you start a polygamous sect, and then you have all the women you need, and they all help each other. And, it takes a village to raise a family, so get a village of ladies to help raise the family. Then they can all talk together. They can help each other become better women, and you get the variety you want as a man. No, not happening. No, nobody's with that. Nobody's with the polygamous family. And I never said that a successful woman is an outlier, Heidi. I said that there are anomalies, and I'm talking about women who work in those. When I talk about, you thinking, that's the thing. That's because we're looking at it from different angles. You're thinking, get off the mic, Mike, all in my face and shit. So you're thinking about from an executive perspective. I've never been an executive. I've never been a corporate type. When the Den and the Sauce, they grow up in Honcho Enterprises, takes all. Then we'll talk about corporate shit. But even then, it probably won't happen. But what I'm looking at is like male-dominated fields such as construction or more labor-intensive fields. And I'm sure, and other things like that. You see women who get into the field, but they gravitate to a certain position. Like I say, I think about construction, contract, whatever you want to call it. A lot of women, safety. And they, basically sitting there with the little vest and the little thing, and not even safety, but fire watch, hole watch, shit like that. When you could just as easily be a helper, or take up a craft or whatever. But that's not really what they want to do. And there's nothing wrong. I gotta keep an eye on men in education, because I've seen what a lot of those men in education coaches, they were up to some shenanigans. But I'm not dumping on anybody. I'm just saying that they are outliers. You've seen, when it comes to men in education outside of public school, fucking professors and thing. When you say the word professor, you mainly think of men. Medicine, you say the word doctor, people primarily think of men. Is that changing? Quite possibly, but it is what it is. All right, D-Love, appreciate you coming through, man. And so my thing is, you say polygamy is a mess. Look. Which one is it? Is it? Because they're almost the same but slightly different. It's polyamory and polygamy, or bigamy. Don't want to be a bigamist. The bigamist is when you have like more than one, when you're married to more than one. Polyamory, I think, is when you're loving too many people. That's the weird one. And polygamous is kind of sketchy too. So I don't know. Probably not. Better not. I don't know. That's the mom takes her that type of stuff. I have no idea, and I would hope not. So again, oh, you said gay adoption. That's a very good one. Because there's arguments for both sides. My personal answer is no, but then again, I'm not going to adopt those kids. So, if it helps them get a safe shelter with a roof over their head, I can't say too much about it. But I think that if there's an option, I'm kind of opposed to it. And the reason why I say that is I think that there is an influence on the children that are raised in those homes. I think it is, because right now you see a lot of, is that not a thing? Is straight bashing not a thing? You know what I'm saying? Because again, when you through the Twitter sphere, you see people. You see a lot of people who they consider them gay or transgender or whatever they identify as. They bash straight people a lot. Well, you're straight, so you can't be in this conversation, or like a straight person would know, or what is the term? Cisgendered or something of that nature. So again, I don't know. But I just have the inclination of me thinks that would impact the outcome for those families. And to me, I would think, you see, two gay couples raising kids, they seem to do all right. Okay. Like I say, again, I don't have any personal experience. I don't know, so I would just have a feeling that there would be some influence, in the stories that you hear, because I think about that story, yeah, and that's strange how to be such a minority, and I don't know, cis male is a word you use to marginalize. Yeah, and that's odd, such an odd thing too. Like, we want to just add these fucking terms that don't make sense. But because I think about the lesbian couple that adopted all those kids, and they were beating and abusing the fuck out of those kids, and every time they were starting to kind of get caught or exposed, they would just move somewhere else, and then they end up fucking driving off a fucking cliff with all those kids in the fucking vehicle, and those kids all died. They all died. And so, of course, not every gay couple is taking a bunch of kids, throwing them in the back of a fucking SUV and driving off a cliff with them. But, it is. It's wild. It's a wild world that we live in. So when they understand that there needs to be a masculine figure, they can find that balance. I'm not even gonna go there. But like I say, I'm not going to adopt the kids, so whatever gets the kids a safe and normal shelter. I've seen motherfuckers who are straight and say that they want to have gay kids. So I wouldn't be surprised. You see, I forgot whoever the celebrity was, and he was mad because the chick was trying to say that his son wanted to be a girl or something. And then as soon as I think he got custody of the kid stopped all that behavior because it was the mom that was pushing that bullshit on him. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm not going to do it. So, hey, do what you got to do. Did the video kill the radio star? Yeah, I think so. I would say C. So, oh, terrible. That's a terrible, terrible thing to say, Heidi. Terrible, but hilarious. That's a terrible thing to think about. That I don't even want to think about that. That's horrible. I'm gonna take your wrench. You're a fire starter. You're over there stirring the pot. Oh, that's even worse. I can't fuck with y'all. See, y'all are trouble starters. This is why we can't ever get anything done in the den. This is why we can't solve the world's problems, because you guys are just troublemakers. See, yeah, that's what it is. I figured Heidi out, right? I figured it out. You know, I forgot what I was watching the other day. See, Heidi, and correct me if I'm wrong as I say these things, right? You have some German in you, correct? You have some German lineage in you. Would that be a fact or a fiction? A nose itching. Okay, horse. I'll take that as a yes. You also are Catholic, correct? Or practice Catholicism or whatever it may be. Okay. Yeah. Parents are from Germany. Okay. Well, you have German ties. German tied up bondage. Okay. Catholic. Now, something that I've heard, and you say that you are a you have not soiled yourself because you're waiting for marriage, correct? Soiled might not have been a word. That sounds terrible. I shit myself. I got shitty drunk the other day, so yeah, I did soil myself. But but you have remained pure, correct? Well, you're more Italian than the German. Well, that's all semantics. That's all. And wait to marriage. Okay. Because I heard this conversation. Not a conversation, but something that I've heard. Exactly. Anal. So Heidi might be into the butt hilarious. Because that they use that distinction, that I've heard that it's a Catholic thing, that they use that distinction that, oral and anal are acceptable. The poop hole loophole. Thank you, 335. Yes, the poop hole loophole. See, if those liberal people are out there pushing their dirty agendas, I can push the poop hole loophole. And I think Heidi ho. I gotta keep my eye on Heidi. There are loopholes in this game, but that is that was the West You dared of in the 80s. Oh man. But again, like I say, so you gotta keep an eye on Heidi. You gotta watch. See, Heidi is she's finessing. She finesses with her words. So you gotta make sure you cover all the technicalities. So there's that. Nah, Heidi's a good girl. Handy's only. Handy Heidi. That's what they used to call her. Let me stop for a few minutes. Yes. That shows from the whole what is it? Shake the bear situation. That's unhealthy. Very unhealthy. But, let's give Heidi a hard time until she gets a hard time. Hey, yo. But again, but my thing is this, though. My thing is this. The family, we were talking about chivalry. Chivalry. Is chivalry dead? Is chivalry dead? I don't want to say it's dead completely, but it's definitely on its last legs. And I think that you got to be very attentive. Yeah, Edman will be very upset. Yes, on life support, absolutely. That's what I was meant. I was gonna say on Lifeline, but I'm like, this ain't fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I couldn't think of the right word. I'm like, fucking Lifeline. No, I gotta call somebody when I'm on fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And that ain't the answer. No, it ain't dead, but women choking it the fuck out. And again, like I say, it's just because the idea nowadays is not about being chivalrous. Again, when you're encouraging women to be more sexually liberal with any and everybody, hey, do what you do. What's the point of the politeness? Remember, chivalry used to be the knights trying to fight for their fair maiden who's been locked up in a castle, saving her purity for the man who could fight for her honor. You know what I'm saying? And so there's that. Light a cigarette. Can you light a Black and Mild? Yeah, exactly. That's true. But I agree with you, Smart, that that they think it's always you can't be genuine anymore. And that's sad. Like you can't be genuine. And I think that just goes with everybody. You can't do things out of, was it selflessness? It's just unfortunate. And again, I don't know if it's a Western thing, because it seems in other cultures it's not as bad, but it seems that, when you start acclimating to the Western ways, that, the idea of women change. You think in the more, Eastern Asian areas, you don't really see that being, you see women as being more submissive. You see it in more of the, I guess, Indias and stuff like that, kind of Asian cultures like that. African cultures, I don't know, man. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it is, because I know some African niggas and they have expectations of their ladies. So, there are definitely, in other cultures, it's a thing, it's a thing. But I've seen people who've come from other cultures, come to this Western way, and they still adapt. They still keep certain things, and I think that they feel like it's better for their sanity and their situation. I don't know. So I don't know if South American culture is more polite, respectful of gender. Culture is hostile. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't really know down there. See, everybody's getting the donkeys in, and women are mad about that. So. Some people thought they were black. Yeah, I had that happen to me one time too. I remember when I was little, I went to a church with my Mexican homeboy, and they were speaking all kind of Spanish. But I see two other niggas over there. I'm like, oh yeah, see, it's cool over here. They know what's going on. Try to top it up. Them niggas, like, oh shit, fuck it, I'm going to sit down. So, there's that, man. Say women as bad as this, got to find, oh yeah. And that's the thing. And that's the crazy thing. And that's why I say, man, you got to look all around the world. You could have been born anywhere else in the world. And it's a blessing to have been born or to be in America. And people don't want to think of it like that. America has its problems. America has its problems, but ultimately it has way more benefits, way more opportunity than anywhere else in the world. And so I think people fail again. It's that entitlement that where people fail to realize that. I'm not saying, you know, be happy with the way your life is. I'm not telling you not to fight for, you know, better. But I think there's certain things, you know, there's give and take. And you got to be able to say, okay, hey, you know what? Got this pretty good. I can't really complain over this too much. Then there's a point where it's too much. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it'd be what it be, you know. But here's the deal. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what it means. Y'all know what here's the deal means. It's about that time. There's a lot of whooping going on. Not quite enough whooping, but a lot of whooping going on. But I fucks with y'all, man, and I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. I'm still, like, y'all don't understand. I'm still fucking surprised that the Den got monetized. Like, I swore up and down it was gonna be a show. I was just like, man, fucking, it's gonna be bad. But it happened. Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't in here 335. Yeah, it got fucking monetized. I stumbled across it earlier, and it said it got monetized. I was like, wow. I was like, definitely not gonna be shit. I need my sleep, goddammit. So I was surprised. So we'll see what happens. How long that lasts. Fucking Ed Man's music got me copyrighted, but not a strike. Just the last stream was like it wouldn't be monetized. So no more of Ed Man's love songs. You know, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I just thought that it would be offensive, but then but honestly, before that, I went back and I read all the rules or whatever, and I looked at it. I'm just like, you know, I don't think I violated anything because I don't specifically point out any group and hate on them. I may question certain things, but I don't hate on anybody. I don't think I talk down on anybody. There's foul language, but I don't think I'm not, you know, that I don't think I fall for the hate speech. The only thing I've heard lately on Jesse is that the cops want to talk to him again because he's back in town because he was in LA for a while. You know, he did the concert, so he stayed out of town for a while. But now that he's back in town, they want to talk to him again. That they're trying to track down the rope, basically the origin of the rope. What else are they trying to do? Man up. What's the motherfucking deal, man up? Brandon. It's getting close, man. It's getting close. Can't let a woman take over the Den, Brandon. You know, I'm a woman hater. Then what would they say? That's all good. Oh man, we talked about a little bit of everything, man. Up a whole lot of everything. Yeah, no broken ribs. No, there was absolutely no broken ribs. He even said that himself. He was like, they were just bruised. He didn't go to the hospital at all. Let's see. What else happened with him? Like I say, just a bunch of lies and a bunch of bullshit. But I think they said the cops are going to subpoena the phone records. I have a feeling that it's going to change. I feel like, you know, that initially they said they weren't treating him as a suspect or as a criminal or whatever. They said that there's new footage, but they haven't said what they've seen on the footage or what they found, but still nothing about an attack. So I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what happens real soon. So I think that something about Nick Young. Oh yeah, the Nick Young where he was basically standing up for Bow Wow, talking about the double standard. Yeah. And that shit there is wild too, man. Like I say, it's we talked briefly last night, I want to say, because we were talking about the kid from Florida and how she basically made false allegations on him, and he's basically lost his scholarship at Florida State for that shit. So, you know, it is what it is. No, I'm not I haven't really watched a lot of Shane Dawson stuff. You know. You bet your 50 was a lie. Oh, look, you gonna be tell him not only do you want the 50, you want an extra breakfast in bed too. You know, you gotta tell him you want a special meal. Cook it up, because yeah, it's like I say, just nothing. That whole shit was just too suspect to me. I felt like, you know, it is what it is. I know somebody said they saw that he still had the wrapper. I don't know about the sandwich situation, but my thing is, if you get into a altercation, you still got your sandwich intact with the bleach getting thrown on you. I mean, I said, where's the bleach clothes? That's what I'm curious to know. You wearing a rope, you stroll past security, you don't tell them anything. You just like, fuck it. This is what happened. I think it's just too much sketchy shit involved. And then he didn't want to call the police at first. You know, I think he lied about some shit, and then you know, it all came together. Word. Okay. They retired his number. That's what's up. Or did they retire it? I hope they retired it. So like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens a little bit, you know. Yeah, I think that's what I say. So I definitely think it's gonna be very interesting. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! I appreciate that. I still appreciate the love from yesterday, just Sarah. Thank you for that. Next topic: brainwashing the youth. Getting brainwashed in the den. Nah. But yeah, we'll talk about that. I think that'll be a good conversation to have. It's over here. I'm just, like I said, I'm just waiting. I think it's gonna be. I really think they're gonna, you know, come out, or they're gonna either arrest him for a false report or something. That's what I say. That's why I'm curious to see what they want to talk to him about. And now they say they got the security on the set and all that stuff now. Yeah, I'm sure you do. You know, we'll see what happens. Very sketchy. Very sketchy. Oh, I wouldn't even look at the thing. Oh, okay. I was looking at the thing the wrong. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the jersey thing. I'm just saying, okay, that's what's up. So yeah, people they just now starting to give him the love that he deserves, man. Yeah. But yeah, so they need somebody to replace Jared. Man, somebody's gonna get a bad rap if it comes out that he's lying. You know, they already was trying to recover their image from fucking Jared, the Subway guy, and now, you know, there's that. I have been to the Eastern Coast a couple of times. It wasn't very long trips. A couple in college, some for some other stuff, you know, but nowhere in major. Like I haven't been to like New York City or the city itself, or in the major cities on the East Coast. But for other things, I've had to. So Houston and Shipley's. I mean, that's it. That's all you need to know. Houston is Shipley's. Don't bring that Krispy Kreme shit around here. Don't be like A.O. Noah talking about Wendy's go harder than Whataburger. We don't need none of that shit. None of that shit. Okay? None of that shit. So, well, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'll probably be at the damn. I probably need to get some of them fucking things for because I be at the screen too much. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what I need to do. Give me some of them, because like when you be at the computer screen too goddamn much, you say, you know, you're supposed to get some of them fucking blue blockers. That's what I need. But half the time I just be making faces, and I don't be, because screen don't change nothing for me. So, you know, it is what it is. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. I don't believe you, DeMarcus. I don't believe nothing you be saying, DeMarcus. I don't believe nothing. Look. I don't believe nothing DeMarcus be talking about, goddamn. I'm chugging up the dudes, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate y'all coming through. Hey, look, man. Y'all ain't got to go home. You ain't got to go home. I might try out that I probably ain't gonna get on no mixer and do it, but I probably I'm gonna check out that Apex, whatever that shit is, for a few minutes. Maybe run the game on there and see what's up. But again, I appreciate y'all coming through the den. Y'all ain't got to go home. But y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. But before you do, make sure you tell a friend about the den. That being said.